What like? So here I find myself again making a video on this thin-lipped little boot who's decided to take it upon herself to impose more somewhat draconian measures, and we know this is all heading to another lockdown. Everybody knows that by the time winter hits, when the flu comes around, funny that, we're going to end up in lockdown. But once again, with her and her bullshit in relation to saving lives, she has found herself in the precarious position of contradicting herself at every turn. And that's what I'm going to point out here today. It's as simple as that. If you still buy into this narrative for what they claim it is, then there really is no helping you at this point. None of it makes any sense. It's all about control. It's all about compliance. It's all about ensuring that this shit prolongs itself to a point where they can continue and finalise implementing their so-called sustainable development goals. All this talk of a fairer, greener, sustainable Scotland, well, they can't do that if we go back to normal. Oh, no, no, no. So we have to continue this bullshit until their plans are finalised. So with that being said, that brings me to Nicola Thinlips announces new lockdown restrictions on the number of people allowed to meet socially. Of course she did. So it says here that she told MSPs that Scotland was not ready to progress to the next phase of easing lockdown as the number of positive cases, the number of positive COVID tests continues to rise. As I pointed out in the video that I made yesterday, she said on the 29th of August that the increase in cases just now, granted partly, but still, reflects a greater volume of testing. Crucially, our positive remains low, below 1% again today, so no need for alarm, but there is a need to be very careful and cautious, because it's a fucking deadly virus. It's all very delicately balanced just now, because Thin Lip knows. Thin Lips is saving your life, Thin Lips is thinking of the people, and let's not talk about Sweden and how they managed to pretty much defeat the deadly virus that is coronavirus. No. We have to pretend that Nicola Sturgeon and her cronies are saving lives. They're destroying the economy to save your life. But the fact is though, that there's an increase in cases just now, and it partly reflects a greater volume of testing. Testing has been ramped up. Then we take into consideration the fact that the bulk, if not about 90% of these tests, bring back false positives. They're not worth their weight in salt, But there's an increase in cases because there's been an increase in testing. But oh no, we need to shut everything down again and restrict our freedoms, of course. And that's where it's headed. So it says here that Nicola Thinlips has announced new lockdown restrictions across Rainbow Unicorn Land as the number of people testing positive for coronavirus continues to rise. And of course, when they talk about testing positive, that doesn't mean that they're going to end up in ICU units, you know what I mean? No, anyway, the First Minister told MSPs that the country must remain in phase 3 of lockdown, of course, for now, and would likely remain so for some time to come. And this some time to come is going to lead us right into winter. And then we'll go right back to the initial stage. That's where this is headed. I could have put money on this. It's so predictable at this point. We were never going to come out of it. This is going to continue to happen. And as I said, for years to come, potentially, we're never going back to normal. They're fucking with people's heads at this point. The Rainbow Unicorn leader also revealed a range of new restrictions on social gatherings aimed at curbing the spread of the deadly virus. And this is where it's just gold at this point. It says here that from Monday, so not right now, the day today is Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, Thursday the 10th of September. So for the time being, this weekend and Friday and whatnot, everything's fine. Monday, that's a different story. So the virus knows this. The coronavirus knows that these new restrictions are coming into play on Monday. But for the time being, everything is just going to remain as it is. Surely, if you were that concerned about the spread of the deadly virus, these restrictions would come into play right now. So it says that there will be a new limit of 6 people from 2 households. Well, why not 7? 7 potentially will spread the virus. 5 is fine, but 6 is the magic number. I mean, this makes no sense. Surely, if there was a deadly virus out there that you're trying to protect us from spreading amongst ourselves, because we're all going to die if we catch it, then there should be a new limit of nobody from 2 households. Why 2 households? Why not 3? This makes no sense. Allowed to meet from 2 households allowed to meet socially, a rule that covers meetings in homes as well as in pubs and restaurants. You shouldn't be allowed in the pubs and the restaurants if we're trying to stop the spread of a deadly virus. So anyway, it then says down here that she has said that there will be some limited exceptions, including organised sports and places of worship. So why is there exceptions? This kind of goes back to the people that were exempt from wearing the mask, people that are prone to anxiety, they don't have to wear a mask. About healthy, able-bodied people that don't have anxiety issues, they have to wear a mask. But now we're talking about places of worship. Why are places of worship exempt. What? Does the virus know to distinguish between a household of a house with 3 different household members in it and whatnot, and a place of worship? Then it says, and children under 12 will not count towards this limit. Why not 13? Why 12 and not 13? 11's fine, 13 no, but 12. Previously, people could meet in groups of up to 8 from 3 households indoors and 15 from 5 households outdoors. The limit of 20 people for funerals, weddings and civil partnerships will remain and will also apply to wakes and receptions. Well, so why are funerals, weddings and civil partnerships allowed exemptions? I mean, the reopening of sports stadiums to supporters has also been pushed back to next month at the earliest. Customers in hospitality businesses will also be expected to wear face coverings when entering pubs and restaurants before taking their seats, where they then, I presume, will have to take them off, because under your own bogus rules, you said that if people are eating and drinking, then they obviously have to have their mask off. So why do we need to wear a mask when we enter the premise, but then sit down on our seat and take it off? I mean, what the fuck is going on here? I mean, if you're going to abide by this crap, if you're going to comply with this crap, then you're just giving these people more power. This is nonsensical. You have to wear it walking through the door. I mean, what? Alright, anyway, then it says, I know, oh, of course, it's Thin Lips talking now. You know, the bold and brave feminist Thin Lips. I know that making those choices, this patronising shit, as if she's following these rules herself. She is no different to any of these other wankers out there. But she really pisses me off with this condescending, patronising crap where she tries to put herself in our shoes and speak as if she's been empathetic and whatnot. No, you're not. You're condescending and you're fucking lying. I know that making these choices, I know that, you didn't know, you don't know though, do you? And keeping our distance from friends, staying in small groups indoors and washing our hands regularly gets harder and more tiresome. I mean, shut the fuck up, eh? Washing our hands more regularly gets harder and tiresome. Time passes. But they are more important now than they have been for months. But not till Monday. Remember that, folks. It's more important than ever than it has been for months, but not until Monday. It's fine today, it's fine on Friday, it's fine on Saturday, it's fine on Sunday, but it's important, it's imperative on Monday. This goes back to the mask thing again, where they said that there'll be masks from next week, you know, but until such a time, you could wander around the shops without said mask. And then the excuse that they tried to pass us off with was that, but it was to give people enough time to, you know, acquire a mask. I mean, it's just such shit. Well, then they shouldn't be in the shops then, surely. No, but the excuse would have been at the time to walk around the shop without a mask. Oh, well, mine's been ordered, I haven't got it yet. Oh, well, that's fine, you've got to Monday anyway. I mean, it makes no sense, but here we are again. The decision also affects theatres, live music venues and indoor softball play facilities. Thin Lips said, given the rise in COVID-19 cases being the operative word here again, because that could be anyone who's tested positive from a false positive, somebody that supposedly got minor symptoms. How you get minor symptoms of a deadly virus, I don't know. All the way up to somebody that feels rather ill or indeed ends up hospitalised. So it's rather misleading when they talk about cases, because cases, all that signifies is somebody has tested positive on one of their shitey little tests. And again, there's also a lot of question marks over the actual validity of said tests. You know, this is the sort of things that people should realistically be looking into, but they don't. They just read the Daily Record, they watch this shit in the BBC, or they sit there and they fawn over their queen, Thin Lips, when she stands at her podium and repeats the same shit every single fucking day, that she's their saviour and whatnot. You know, people are they're lost on me. Which increased by 161 in the past 24 hours to 22,000. Putting these moves back in is the only responsible decision we can make. And I mean, I'm sure you're gonna stop the spread of the virus from from making it 6 people from the one household. What was it? A new limit of 6 people from 2 households. You know, that'll stop the virus. I mean, you shouldn't be meeting anyone from any household, though. I mean, I shouldn't be giving her any ideas, but the point I'm trying to make is here, if we're trying to stop the spread of some so-called deadly virus, why are you still allowing people from 2 households to meet, indoor or out? Anyway, it then says, if I'm lost now, she added that the reopening of call centres and offices where staff are still working from home that will definitely not take place before October the 1st, when this will be reviewed. And then, of course, we'll get to October the 1st. And, of course, it's not going to happen, is it? Because this is the new normal. The new normal that you bitch... Oh, my Calm down. You and your cronies won't let us go back to. Anyway, it then says that she also made it clear that the new rules on social gathering apply to homes and not just businesses. Let me re-emphasise, the new limit of 6 people from 2 households will apply in restaurants, pubs and beer gardens as well as in our homes. We hope that by reducing the risk of transmission in those settings, it will help to keep the sector open. Thin Lips said the rise in cases was not wholly unexpected as more businesses reopened and people began to travel more, with 96% of firms north of the border now trading again. Now, this is the other shit they're trying to do. I mean, there's the clip on Good Morning Britain from her from the other day, and I'm not going to play it because I don't want to hear her voice again, where she's talking about that when we were all in lockdown, that suppressed the virus, but when we opened up a bit, that let out the virus escaped. And again, I go back to Sweden, even fucking Japan. I mean, there's countries out there that didn't impose this shit, but they never refer to them. No, because they want you to be kept in this illusion that her bogus rules, all done on purpose because she's carrying out the sustainable development agenda, may I add, as I have showcased many times before. You know, she wants you to believe that this lockdown's justified, and now she's trying to tell you that because we're easing out of her draconian lockdown, that's why the deadly virus is on the rise again. It's just such garbage. Anyway, she says that students also now returning to colleges and universities following the reopening of schools last month. But you're just assuming because people are wandering about, that's spreading the virus everywhere. Well, that's the assumption that she wants you to undertake. And then she says that Thin Lips had earlier urged people to download the new confidential coronavirus contact tracing app, which has now gone live because that's going to save lives. That's going to save lives. You tell everyone that who you hung about with and who you associate with in private, you know, that's going to stop the virus. Just like these things that have been put in place to try and quell the spread of STDs in the past, which don't tend to have the effect that you would assume they would if we're going to go down this line of thinking. And then it says that it aims to allow tracing of a wider range of contacts by using mobile phones to detect who has been in close proximity with a positive case. I mean, are you serious? Are you serious? Shove that up your arse. Sturgeon tweeted on Thursday, "There's a new way to help fight COVID in Scotland, and it's to let everybody go back to normal and let us all..." Of course we can't do that. Protect Scotland. Our confidential contact tracing app will anonymously notify app users you've been in close contact with someone should you test positive. Please download and let's all protect Scotland. I'll tell you how we protect Scotland, Thin Lips. It's getting you to fuck. And on that note, I am done. Peace.